The Frankie DeBusk Show is a special presentation of the Pioneer Sports Network. The Gateway Ford Frankie DeBusk Show with the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton, and head coach Frankie DeBusk.
The Frankie DeBusk Show is presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda, the home of the big deal, located on the 11E bypass in Greenville. And brought to you in part by Applebee's, your neighborhood bar and grill. Applebee's, eating good in the neighborhood. Sodexo, a worldwide leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. By Green Coach Tours, celebrating their 66th anniversary. By Consumer Credit Union, with 3 convenient locations in Greenville and Mossheim. Creekside Markets, pick up a Hunt Brothers Pizza for those football Friday nights or Saturday afternoons. Greenville Federal Bank. Greenville Federal Bank is banking made easy. Laughlin Memorial Hospital, whatever you do, do it well. Andrew Johnson Bank, a strong heritage, a stronger future. Home owned and operated with locations in Morristown, Jonesboro, Johnson City, Cleveland, and Greenville. Grand Rental Station, anything you'll ever need to rent or buy. Special consideration from Comcast Cable.
And now, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton.
Hello and welcome into the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda. The Tusculum Pioneers wrapping up the 2012 season, still with the game to go, but taking on their rival, the Carson Newman Eagles, this past Saturday. The Tusculum Pioneers got off to a very good start, very hot start, but Carson Newman was able to score on consecutive possessions in the first half and pulled away to a 66-36 victory from Pioneer Field. With the win, it's the 40th, I should say, the 30th in the series between the Tusculum Pioneers and the Carson Newman Eagles, and the 42nd meeting for Carson Newman alone. Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk has yet another one go by the wayside. Once again, a awesome game statistically for the Pioneer offense, but the Pioneer defense struggled against the strong ground game of Carson Newman. The Carson Newman Eagle head coach, the dean of the South Atlantic Conference, Ken Sparks, picks up win number 306, the winningest coach in Division II history. We're joined once again by Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk. You go into it senior day and you're hyped up. You get the ball to start the game. Your offense drives right down the field, and then it looks as if we're going to have that shootout, and then all of a sudden you had to punt, and I'm thinking, uh-oh, and it kind of went downhill from there, it appeared.
You know, when you play a good Carson Newman football team, you've got to score when they score. You got to match them score for score, and that's what we were doing early. You know, we were playing very good offensively, and still we hadn't stopped them defensively, and you know, they're a good football team, but we made some mistakes along the way from a defense standpoint that kept us from being able to stop them and convert and get the ball back for our offensive football team. You know, I was really pleased with our efforts offensively in the first half. Thought we played really well. Stumped our toe a little bit in the second half, but I was glad to see us make some strides from an offensive standpoint. As I told our football team when the game was over, thought we played well enough offensively to win. We didn't play well enough defensively to win. They had the much better football team on Saturday. They deserved to get the victory, and we got to take our lumps and move on.
Different look offense for the Tusculum Pioneers. We'll talk about that from at least one week to the next. No, they didn't run the option, that's for sure. Carson Newman did, and they ran it effectively for the victory against the Tusculum Pioneers. We'll come back, we'll take a look at your first half highlights when the Frankie DeBusk Show returns, presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda.
Gateway Ford on Highway 11E is rapidly becoming the #1 Ford dealer in the region. We're changing the car business for the better. Buying a car has never been easier. No add-on stickers. Plus, we'll appraise your car right up front. You pick the car you like and have your best price in less than 30 minutes. Plus, at Gateway, you'll receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on every new vehicle purchased. The clear choice. Gateway Ford, home of the big deal on Highway 11E in Greenville.
Applebee's 2 for $20 is back and fresher than ever.
Whoa.
Hey, Chris. Hi, Jesse.
Hey.
Ready to order?
Yep, 2 for $20.
1 appetizer, 2 entrees, and layers of fresh flavor. So, who's paying this week?
Call it in the air.
Tails.
Pony up, Palmer. So come on in for new favorites like new creamy chicken fettuccine carbonara, new bruschetta chicken, or classics like the 7-ounce house sirloin. That's 1 appetizer, 2 entrees, $20.
You got off easy, my friend.
It's the freshest 2 for $20 yet, only at Applebee's. Now serving half-price appetizers late night.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton.
Hello and welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda. Well, the Tusculum Pioneers and the Carson Newman Eagles, the second oldest football rivalry in the state of Tennessee, but it is the oldest football rivalry for the Pioneers. The first oldest, you might ask, Tennessee and Vanderbilt. They started back in 1889 or something. Well, this is a Tusculum Pioneer football team and a Carson Newman Eagle football team wrapping up the regular season. For Carson Newman, they are in the regional rankings and the only rankings that allows you to make the postseason. And they have that outside possibility of being one of 4 teams that could tie for a South Atlantic Conference title. A lot on the line for them. A lot on the line for the Pioneers as well. Point of pride as the Pioneer football team looks to end the football season on a positive note. We take a look at your first quarter highlights presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda. And we'll start for the Pioneers, the opening possession.
I have to say, Brian, one of the best crowds we've had all year. Great support by our community, and we gave them a lot to cheer for there early on. Bo Cordell really making a great decision here running the football. Probably Bo's best game all year long, and a lot of it was due to the guys catching the football for him and making some plays happen, but he did a great job making some really good decisions. Here he hits Xavion Smith, one of our upperclassmen, if you may say, that's a junior at wide receiver. And here we hit Justin Houston, one of the true freshmen from there in Cleveland, Tennessee, Bradley Central High School. He's going to be a great football player once he learns and understands everything we're trying to get accomplished.
Pioneer football team driving Bo Cordell set the tone right out of the gate with the rush, and he goes over 100 yards on this game, and more on that coming up. Previously, his game best was 37 yards for the Tusculum Pioneers. But again, some mental mistakes on the drive, Coach, as well. You had some holding, you had false starts, but you were able to persevere here in the opening possession.
Well, that's one of the positives I think we can talk about as Kenny Funny makes a catch there, another one of our freshmen from down in the lower state of South Carolina. Our offensive football team made some mistakes, but then we would make a big play just like this. Great blocking downfield by Billy Munker and big Charlie Phillips, a lot of guys getting down there, David Davis, making some things happen. We would respond. We were jumping off sides way too many times. We had just too many penalties in that regard, but our offensive football team did overcome and make some good things happen. And here's Bo. When it opened up inside, he would break a few tackles. That's unlike us saying that, but he did a great job running the football.
Not only break tackles, he also made guys miss, which is something I haven't seen from Bo Cordell. Again, just trying to extend the play just a little bit, and not able to work out right here, and another penalty flag for a hold, just trying to protect. But this play, this might be the best throw that I have seen him throw maybe this year.
Does a great job looking off, buying some time. He's not running out of the pocket. He plants his feet, makes a good throw there to X, and X catches the football, makes it look easy, and we get in the end zone. And what a great way to start for the Pioneers.
For Pioneer wide receiver Xavion Smith, he had 112 yards on the day. It's the first time in about 4 games that Xavion has gone over 100 yards. Justin Houston was over 100 yards, but made a catch in the fourth quarter where he lost 4 yards on the play. Well, Pioneers would lead 6-0. The point after was no good. And I'm going to show you the touchdowns, really just as a segue, just to prove the fact that Carson Newman scored. Their first possession, they'd go down in 6 plays, 67 yards, and score. Fortunately, the Pioneers would be forced to punt on their very next possession, but Andy Rossetti has been killing the ball here of late.
Great job by Andy. Good job by our cover team getting down the field there. That's Byron Butler, Skylar West, Lamont Thomas, all down the field there, putting some pressure on their return guy.
Brandon Haywood has done a good job at quarterback for Carson Newman. He's done enough, but this wasn't maybe one of his better decisions, and the Pioneers catch a break here early in the game.
Yeah, John Perry actually made a good play for us and ended up getting on the fumble, and we're fortunate there to get that football in that position. We do need to score a touchdown here, and unfortunately they stop us and we have to kick a field goal, but great job defensively. Happy for our defensive football team there to create a turnover.
So the Pioneers, again, coming up on offense and looking to establish the running game. You may have noticed in that very first possession they went 5 wides. Do you think Carson was ready for what you guys want to do running because of the success you had against Mars Hill?
Oh, I think so. I think they had a plan to stop us running the football and probably didn't have a plan for us to go in our 5-wide set. And I think it was a great decision by our offensive staff to give us a chance to have some success. And you know, here it's 3rd and 10, and we got to do a little better job making some positive things happen on 1st and 2nd down. Bo picks up 5, but we're still 5 short and have to end up kicking a field goal. Logan Cornelius comes in, a sophomore from down in Chattanooga. and drills it to give us 3 more points.
4 plays, 4 yards, and the Pioneers take the lead 9-7. As you see, still in the first quarter, Carson Newman would take the very next possession, however, and they would drive down the field. On 4th down, they converted 1 time in that game. Andy Hibbett would take it in to pay dirt from a couple of yards out. So the Pioneers get the football back still in the first quarter. Bo Cordell starts the drive with a completion to Kenny Funny.
Yep, good job here getting us 7 or 8 yards on 1st down. That's what we need to do. Bo didn't force it, took the underneath route. And Kenny's another young player. He's going to be a fantastic football player once he gets in the weight room, gets a little stronger. And here Bo does just a great job converting by running the football and getting us a 1st down. And unfortunately, we jump off sides, and we go from bragging on Kenny to him having a penalty against us. I guess that's part of being a young player. But good job here by not making anything forceful happen. We need to hit Kenny there on the sidelines and convert.
The only thing that I think one of the more difficult passes for Bo, but then again, make the mistake, you come right back, and Justin Houston doing what he can do, 35-yard catch and run.
Probably his biggest reception of the year, actually, catching that football and making some positive things happen. And again, I think Justin's going to be a tremendous weapon for us. And great job blocking downfields. X just does a phenomenal job ducking his head, getting north and south, breaking tackles. And I thought he'd actually scored here, but we get it inside the 1, I think, and the quarter runs out, and we end up punching it in.
I think, unfortunately, he didn't get in. So B.J. Spradlin comes in, first play of the second quarter, as you say, just to cap that drive. That really was just 6 plays, 75 yards. False start, 35-yard play. False start, 31-yard play. It's what you were talking about, coming back and having this offense answer after a miscue on offense.
Well, that's what we're capable of doing. Unfortunately, we've waited till game 10 to start converting, but fortunately we are. You know, we've made some strides, and some of those guys that are making those big plays hadn't made them up to this point. So hopefully you see a really bright future for the Pioneers on offense.
All right, the Pioneers just moments into the second quarter, literally 3 seconds in, B.J. Spradlin with the touchdown for the Pioneers. Didn't have that big running game like he had against Marseille. It just wasn't there for the day. Pioneer offensive attack was definitely through the air. Pioneers have a 16-14 lead just 3 seconds in to the second quarter. Hang on, because that lead doesn't last that long. Frankie DeBusk Show continues after this, presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda.
Gateway Ford on Highway 11E is rapidly becoming the #1 Ford dealer in the region. We're changing the car business for the better. Buying a car has never been easier. No add-on stickers. Plus, we'll appraise your car right up front. You pick the car you like and have your best price in less than 30 minutes. Plus, at Gateway, you'll receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on every new vehicle purchased. The clear choice. Gateway Ford, home of the big deal on Highway 11E in Greenville.
Your Greenville Light and Power System, an electrical distributor of TVA, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Your Greenville Light and Power is dedicated to excellence in service and reliability. Visit online at glps.net. Green Coach Charters and Tours has been proudly serving the traveling public for over 65 years and is the official carrier of Tusculum College Athletics. If you have never traveled by Green Coach, may we invite you to join them for an exciting travel adventure. Visit online at greencoach.com.
Showtime. You know what it is. Everything we do it big. Screaming, that's not. When we step up on the field, that's not. Small town, but we still do it very big. Back in ours, back in ours, back in ours, back in ours. We grind hard for the rings with the diamonds on it. Back in ours, back in ours, back in ours, back in ours.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda. The Pioneers lead at 16-14 as we had started the second quarter. Carson Newman will have the football here as we start this second quarter of action, and they didn't trail for long. Second quarter highlights brought to you by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda.
Scoring back and forth with them right now, Brian. You know, defensively, we did not play very well. It's obviously why we don't have many defensive highlights today. We've got to do a little better job of getting lined up there. We talked about the tight end adjustment earlier in the week and what we were going to do when he traded, and we just didn't pull the rope as we defined defensively. And they have a humongous run there, and we got to do a better job stopping them. And unfortunately, they scored and take the lead, and here we're getting the ball back again.
So it would be Brandon Baker from 22 yards who would score after the Hibbett 40-yarder, and Xavier Smith, really a spark on special teams for the Pioneers.
Yeah, great job here. I think this was the one there was actually a penalty on, and we had him kick it again and give us some a little bit better positive yards. But it's a tight ball game. We got to keep scoring. And here we flip it to B.J. Spradlin, one of our sophomores from here in Greenville, Tennessee, one of the guys we're expecting to do some great things for us in the future, and they end up making a play there. We drop this one here. This is Justin Houston again, who's making some plays, but also not playing as consistent as we like. And we finally get this call. We're trying to throw the ball to B.J., and they hold him, and we hardly ever get that call, but we did here and get to convert.
I was actually a little shocked to actually see that happen. B.J. Spradlin last week, 99 yards rushing. On this particular day, had just 19. And here's Justin Houston across the middle. This isn't an easy catch, and then he's really good down the field.
He's starting to get some confidence, getting a little more courage, understanding what's going on. And this is just a great job by Bo getting us 8 or 9 there on first down, and after Justin made a phenomenal catch inside. And Justin again is starting to understand what we're expecting. He's going to be a great player for us.
Right across the middle, this is Houston. Couldn't hold on to it. So now a third down, and this has been the Achilles heel, 32% converting coming in. And here's Jonathan Delberto. And again, I think it's just been told, catch it, make sure you hang on to it. 1st and 10, Pioneers extend the drive with a big third down conversion, and then Houston across the middle.
Great route by Justin, great call by Mark Kolb, good job by Bo making a great throw, and he did get hit right there as he let it go. But those are the plays we need to make, we always have made, and we expect to make from our offensive football team.
All right, the Pioneers take a 22-21 lead. The point after was no good. Carson, Newman, you're going to see a little bit of their offensive attack, because the Pioneers on this particular drive faced 4th down 2 times and could not get it stopped. That was 3rd down and a yard, or I should say 4th down and a yard. Haywood, who had a big day, 3 backs over 100 yards on the day. It just seems as if there was initial surge. Initially, they were going to lose yards, it would appear, on the day. Even when they had a bad play, they still picked up at least 2.
Yeah, they really, their offense is all about momentum and getting it going, and they got it going early, and we just had a hard time stopping them. We didn't do our job at all, and here they run a little pitch out there, and we got people on alignment and assignment responsibilities. We just didn't do it as the day went along, and they ended up capitalizing on a lot of our mistakes.
All right, so the Pioneers give up the lead to Carson Newman. They would go for the point after. Kurt Duncan, 28-22. Pioneers be forced to punt, and Andy Rossetti just absolutely gets a hold of one, switches the field, really bailing out the Pioneers right here, as Jason East Brown has to go all the way back. He was standing at the Pioneer 45, and you can see he basically had to run back 15 yards.
Great punt by Andy Rossetti. He's had a phenomenal year. I'm happy for him, and just hope he can keep it going here one more week. And here we have unfortunate mishap on our behalf defensively, and we're trying to stop the run, and they end up throwing a pass there to a wide open guy in the end zone.
The only pass that they had thrown to that point. East Brown, his 6th touchdown reception. Brandon Haywood, his 6th touchdown pass. So the Pioneers have the ball, pardon me, down 35-22. Pioneers guilty of a false start. Then they lose 2 yards, so face 2nd down and 17, and Bo Cordell, just very patient, realizes he's got a couple of downs to play with, and gets what he can. Bo Cordell, on this day, we didn't have a running back that had the big running game, but for the first time since Corey Russell's Albany State playoff win, we got a quarterback who throws for over 300 yards and runs for over 100 yards. Corliss Stone, who was into the game because I believe Xavion Smith on the kickoff return actually was injured and so was out. So now Pioneers facing 4th down, and Andy Rossetti last week probably throws a touchdown. This week, Iram Aiken is about a fingernail away from breaking this run for a touchdown.
Great execution here. Great job by Andy making that simple throw. Great job by Luke Harris going out there blocking like he's supposed to do, and Ira makes a good catch and gets us a big 30, 35-yard play, gets us out of the hole. We end up going down and scoring on this drive.
I don't know if you know the stats. We sit up there and talk about it quite a bit. Against Carson Newman, the fake punt is very popular with you. This is maybe one of the best plays in Josh Mackey's Pioneer football career. Looked a little like Rashad Carter on this catch.
Well, I'm not knocking the rest of our bunch right now, but I'm not sure we have anybody at our receiver bunch that can go up and make that catch like Josh did right there. Josh has got to be more consistent for us. He's a phenomenal athlete. His consistency is a concern, but that was just a great play. Happy for him to make that play. Got a little excited. Tell him to be smart there and not do anything to jeopardize a good play. But great throw by Bo, great protection, gets us inside the 30, come right back, and Bo sticks Justin again. That's a great throw. I don't know if people realize there was 3 guys around him. Bo had to make a really good throw, and Justin gets his second touchdown of the day.
Justin Houston, another big day for the Pioneers. Talked about it, 99 yards receiving, set up by the guy he just celebrated with, Josh Mackey. And again, that was just a phenomenal catch down the sidelines, tight roping it. Right, just before the half, Pioneers trail 35-29. Carson Newman actually facing second down and the shortest play from scrimmage. Carson Newman did not lose a yard to scrimmage on the day, but Brian Alexander, who finishes second on this day in tackles with 12, to Luke Harris, who you see right there, who finished with 17, hold Haywood to just a yard. So it's third down. A few timeouts are taken right here just before the half, and Carson Newman's going to come out with Kurt Duncan, three-time reigning Special Teams Player of the Week. He's attempting a Pioneer field record and a new Carson Newman school record, 54-yard attempt, and he just snuck it across the crossbar.
Yeah, it was a great kick. You know, we tried to burn some timeouts, thought we had a chance of blocking it, and I actually told Coach Hayes he was going to make it if we didn't block it because he had a very strong leg, had a little bit of wind behind him, and you know, I hate it happened against us, but happy for Kurt to make that kick. He's a good guy, comes from a great family, and his dad, Alan, I think a lot of. So we go into half, still in the ball game. We've missed a couple extra points that should have kept us within one score. Still felt okay about it. We hadn't stopped them defensively, but we were playing pretty good offensively, and I think that late field goal really maybe elevated them into a different feeling coming out in the second half. We just didn't play very well from this point on.
The reason it is a 9-point lead instead of just a 7-point lead is because a couple of missed extra points. So the Pioneers will have to give the ball back to Carson Newman, riding a wave of emotion going into the locker room after that 54-yard effort by Kurt Duncan. We'll take a look at your second half when we return after this. Frankie DeBusk Show continues, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda.
Gateway Ford on Highway 11E is rapidly becoming the #1 Ford dealer in the region. We're changing the car business for the better. Buying a car has never been easier. No add-on stickers. Plus, we'll appraise your car right up front. You pick the car you like and have your best price in less than 30 minutes. Plus, at Gateway, you'll receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on every new vehicle purchased. The clear choice. Gateway Ford, home of the big deal on Highway 11E in Greenville.
Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Andrew Johnson Bank was founded on conservative banking principles. Over the last 30 years, they have steadily built their balance sheet and increased capital by following prudent lending principles and avoiding risky investments. In uncertain times, you can continue to count on Andrew Johnson Bank, your locally owned community bank. A strong heritage, a stronger future. Andrew Johnson Bank, member FDIC. And to pass, this will be Trainer, and Becton picked it off, 35, 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the house. Touchdown, Jelly Becton on his first career interception.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda. So the Pioneers trail 9 points to start the second half. Carson Newman will have the football to start the second half as well. Our third quarter highlights presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda.
I thought our bunch at halftime, you know, we're in the ball game. We got to stop them. I actually had a little word with the defense. It's not acceptable not to have had them stop them one time all day, but we ended up not doing it. They come out, throw a little pass here, and convert and get another score. Not the way I was hoping we would start the second half, but we got to see how we respond. Steve
Isom, his first touchdown reception of the year. I hate that little fake the fumble, get up and throw the ball. I mean, it's an effective play, obviously. So the Pioneers come out offensively for the first time, and maybe a mishap here, but Bo was looking to make a play. He did have Xavier, but again on the run trying to make a throw. Well, I don't like the interception, but it was on 3rd and long. At least we changed the field position a little bit. And here they started running a little different scheme, and we got to tackle the quarterback. We got a guy on him. We just got to tackle him. And you know, this is about the time in the game, Brian, it sort of started getting away from us a little bit, and we weren't stopping them defensively, feeling a little heat offensively. But our kids kept battling, kept playing. Here we get Kenny on a big first down, and we just got to keep forcing it. All right, it's 52-29 right now for the Carson Newman Eagles. Kenny Funny for 15 yards. Bo Cordell, again, just looking to make something happen for a yard. And then he's here all summer with Josh Mackey, and so these two somewhat have a connection, but you see the power that Josh Mackey brings to the table. Athletic. He works. If he plays like he did Saturday, he's going to get a whole lot more playing time doing what we ask him to do. And you know, he's got a chance to be special if he'll just do it. So the Pioneers continue the drive. Josh Mackey, again, just a pass interference. Pioneers get the benefit of the doubt here, so Bo Cordell continues to drive. Bo had a big day passing the football, too, and running the ball. You don't see him do that. You don't see him make guys miss, and he showed his elusiveness there.
Yeah, it's a big first down. You know, good things are happening. We're blocking them out there. We're throwing the football. We're catching it. We do get a penalty, unfortunately. Have to bring it back, but I don't know that I agree with that call, but we got Bo does a great job here. I thought he was going to get sacked, and he ended up getting 10 or 12 and getting us a first down.
Yeah, actually, I'm quite honestly surprised William Alderman was the defensive end. You see that he's frustrated with himself. What are you thinking, young fella? You let Bo Cordell outrun you. Bo Cordell did it, but on this particular day, he was outrunning a lot of guys. Looking to make a play here to Xavier Smith. Good coverage downfield. 2nd down and 9. Now becomes 3rd down and 9. So another big play, and Bo Cordell, instead of using his arm, decides I'm going to use the legs.
Yep, does a great job here making the transition, getting us about 12, getting inside the 10-yard line. You know, Bo just played really, really well, does some things that I know he's capable of doing. I was happy for him.
For 52 to 36, Xavier Smith with his 2nd touchdown reception, his 6th. Xavier Smith has had a banner day. He's been a guy who's been the third wheel, as it is, with Gist or Carter his career. Now is the go-to guy. Now the moment that the Pioneers really didn't cash in on, and this is big. A fumble, Carson Newman, when they put it on the ground, you have to be able to recover it. Now you've got it in just prime position, and you've got to feel good about yourself because your offense has just come off at one of the more efficient drives of the football game.
Well, what I like to see there is our kids are getting excited. We've made a big blow. Luke Harris gets over there and gets on the fumble. I'm not sure who caused the fumble, but great job by our kickoff unit. Tim Tobin coaches our kickoff team, and we got him on their heels from doing some of the things that he's brought to the table, and just we're really executing well on that team. You know, the game's not over. We're still in the hunt. We're still converting. We're doing our things left and right here offensively, and you know, if we could ever just get a stop and hold them, I think it would have been a different ball game because we're feeling it on offense. There we hit Dilberto for big movement. We come out here and I thought he actually made the catch here, but he did bobble it somewhat. We got to keep converting.
It was intended for Josh Mackey. He even actually tried to juggle it between his legs, and I actually thought he held on to it as well. So incomplete there. The Pioneers, though, continuing this drive. Again, a drive that began at the Carson Newman 34, and then again the movement. Again the things that will kill you as a coach if you don't come back and make plays. But Josh Mackey comes back and makes a play for you.
Catches a football, gets a big first down. Happy for him again. Josh has made a few plays on the day. More plays he's made Saturday than he's made since he's been here. I hope he keeps it going.
Well, this is we had to even go back and just kind of look at what Josh Mackey's career was. And it wasn't anything like this. He had a 4-catch day before, but it was more in mop-up duty. Josh Mackey was an impact player. That catch was on 3rd down, looking for the end zone, incomplete. And again, Bo Cordell, nothing there, just tucks the run. He's going to head out. Another 10-yard gain for Bo Cordell. I had to look back and find it. Brevard was the game that he had the most positive yards rushing, 37. Here, he's splitting defenders and looking for more yards. And it looks as if this play may be the worst decision of the game for Bo Cordell.
Bo's just a competitor. He's fought through some adversity. I'd like for him to hit that one. I know I'd like for him to hit that one, but we hadn't performed like we wanted to as a football team. And, you know, here I really thought he could have ran it in for a touchdown. He's just trying to make something happen. You can't fault him for that. Wish he would have made a little better decision, but he had a phenomenal day and he's had a phenomenal career. And I hope he takes this and builds off of it and we continue to move. You know, we'd missed a couple of extra points, so we made a move there at kicker and put Brandon Berkey in there, and then unfortunately Brandon comes in and misses the field goal as well. Our kickers are performing a lot like we are as a football team, very, very inconsistent, and we've got to get that ironed out.
All right, it's 52-36. You had the opportunity there. You score there. I know you haven't stopped them defensively, but what does it do to the defense maybe after they realize, look, if we can get a stop, we can win this thing?
We were still in the ball game, even with the missed field goal. Right. I just thought if we could have scored there, put a little pressure on Carson Newman, and maybe they come out and start throwing the football and help us a little bit, but it didn't work out that way.
All right, the Pioneers trail 52-36 as we head into the 4th quarter. Come back and take a look at that. Right after this, the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda.
Gateway Ford on Highway 11E is rapidly becoming the #1 Ford dealer in the region. We're changing the car business for the better. Buying a car has never been easier. No add-on stickers. Plus, we'll appraise your car right up front. You pick the car you like and have your best price in less than 30 minutes. Plus, at Gateway, you'll receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on every new vehicle purchased. The clear choice. Gateway Ford, home of the big deal on Highway 11E in Greenville.
Creekside Market has 3 locations in southern Greene County to serve, so while you're traveling to or from any game, stop by and pick up a Hunt Brothers Pizza for those football Friday nights or Saturday afternoons. Creekside Market just off the 107, locations on the Asheville Highway, Camp Creek, and the Irwin Highway. Creekside Markets in Greene County. Consumer Credit Union. Loans? We can do that. 3 locations in Greenville and Mossheim. At Consumer Credit Union, everybody can join. Visit online at consumercreditunion.com. This will be Marshall, makes a move at the 10 to the 5, walks into the end zone, touchdown Pioneers. Brian Marshall's second career touchdown.
Welcome back into the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda. Pioneers start the fourth quarter and can't take advantage of the Carson Newman mishaps, and because of that, I think pressing now Tusculum starts to turn the ball back over to the Carson Newman Eagles, who extend the lead. We'll take a look at your fourth quarter highlights now, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda.
We've played pretty good offensively up to this point, Brian. We got some guys really making some plays, and I think we're starting to feel a little bit offensively where we must score to have a chance, and we really need something good to happen to us defensively. We need a turnover. We need something positive, and unfortunately we're throwing a screen there and losing yards and not doing what we need to do offensively. But again, we've played so well, and we've scored some points, and now we're starting to feel a little heat.
Tusculum's Bo Cordell, again, with the 1 interception, trying to make some things happen looking downfield for Xavion Smith, who had, again, one of his better days, 112 yards receiving. Andy Rossetti's 3 for 4 on the year passing. However, this one doesn't go for the first down that he'd hoped. B.A. Brian Alexander, as he's noted, maybe it's the hardest hit he's taken this year.
He even said after the game he got big dog. They hit him and they got the big dog award, but he's got to hang on to the football there. We all joke about Brian not being as athletic as he may think he is, but if he'd have caught that ball around a little to the left, we might have had more success. But just trying to just cause something positive to happen. I think we end up getting a turnover back defensively and getting the ball for us finally. And we're reaching right now, trying to finish the football game in a positive way. And unfortunately, Justin Houston puts it on the ground and gives it back to him.
All right, let's take a look at some of the numbers here. The Pioneers fall in this football game 66-36. Carson Newman able to take advantage of that last turnover. Brandon Baker had a big day. He went for 185 yards, 4 scores. Matter of fact, Haywood along with Hibbett each went over 150 yards on the day. Carson Newman ran for 563, 649 in total offense. But the guy we want to talk about is Bo Cordell. 426 yards of total offense. He's already the conference, the school offensive total yards leader, surpassing Todd Cunningham and Corey Russell this year for the conference and the school lead. But he ran for 103 yards. He got sacked. The only time he was sacked on the day, on the last offensive possession of the game, and we thought that may have knocked him under 100. It wasn't. 103 yards for him. He threw for 323. He's thrown for 300 yards each of the last 3 times now he's played Carson Newman. However, Bo Cordell 0-3 against the Carson Newman Eagles. He established yet another school record in the game. He threw 4 touchdowns. Now he owns the all-time touchdown lead at Tusculum College, surpassing that of Corey Russell, who threw 81 for his career at Tusculum College. So that's in few things about Bo. And again, he continued his assault on the Division II record book in the day. Pioneers come out against Mars Hill last week, run the football this week, empty set, 5 wideouts, and it doesn't matter, I think. Bo's going to be comfortable. But the difference this week in running that 5-wide set with Bo Cordell, he appears to be a little bit more comfortable taking off and taking what's given to him.
Well, that opened up the middle of the field. Some things we've talked about when the field's open, when they spread, let's try to run the football, and he did that very well. Happy for Bo to continue to get these records. Again, I know he wants to win football games, and I'm just proud that game 10 rolled around and we're not having the success we want to have, and we still have players on our football team, not just Bo, that are playing really well. I mean, Luke Harris had one of his biggest days tackling and just graded out a phenomenal high percentage from a defense standpoint, even though we didn't stop him. And Bo, again, having a great day. We got guys that are still competing, still trying, and still putting forth great effort.
All right, Pioneers fall to the Carson Newman Eagles by a final of 66-36. Unfortunately, bittersweet, it was senior day, and we'll take a look at some of the 6 seniors that made an impact here at Tusculum College during their tenure when we come back right after this. The Frankie DeBusk Show continues, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda.
Gateway Ford on Highway 11E is rapidly becoming the #1 Ford dealer in the region. We're changing the car business for the better. Buying a car has never been easier. No add-on stickers. Plus, we'll appraise your car right up front. You pick the car you like and have your best price in less than 30 minutes. Plus, at Gateway, you'll receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on every new vehicle purchased. The clear choice. Gateway Ford, home of the big deal on Highway 11E in Greenville.
Your Greenville Light and Power System, an electrical distributor of TVA, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Your Greenville Light and Power is dedicated to excellence in service and reliability. Visit online at glps.net. Spradlin again to carry it, bouncing off a defender, bouncing off another one into the end zone. Touchdown, B.J. Spradlin. Touchdown, Tusculum. Spradlin's first career touchdown at Tusculum.
This is B.J. Spradlin. You're watching the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda.
Welcome into the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda. Pioneers fall to Carson Newman this past Saturday, 66-36. It is the state's second oldest football rivalry. Carson Newman gets their 30th win in the series against the Pioneers in the 42nd game played from Pioneer Field. The Pioneers see the Carson Newman Eagles win their 6th straight as well. I should say their 5th straight, as they are looking to claim at least a share of the South Atlantic Conference title. Going to need some help this Saturday. Going to need a win against Mars Hill, and then hopefully Catawba can knock off LR. Welcome back, Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk. It's a bittersweet day for you because you have to say goodbye to some seniors on senior day, and we're going to roll some footage about some guys. And you had 6 of them, and these guys that we're going to mention here have all been very impactful for this team, and we got to start with the guy who had a 17 tackle day, and that was Luke Harris.
Yeah, Luke's just a phenomenal young man. I told his mom and dad, who were there representing him, that he's leaving Tusculum College as one of the best kids we've ever been associated with. He's made his plays along the way, but this whole entire group is a group that I love sending out in the community that become Tusculum graduates and Tusculum alums, and we'll be back one day. And they've not had all the success they wanted. But Luke, on top of this group, is just a great kid, made a lot of plays for the Pioneers. 225
tackles going into his final game of his Tusculum Pioneer career. That's 8 all-time in school history. This year he has 96 tackles, looking for his first 100-tackle season of his career. Israel Pickens, a offensive lineman, preseason all-conference pick.
Super person. We'll always remember Israel's smile. When he came in here, he was not really ready to play college football. He groomed, he grew into it. Spencer Riley's done a great job with him, and he walks out as one of the best offensive linemen to play here.
We see what happens with the offense when you lose a key cog, and that's Brian Marshall.
As much heart and courage as anybody we've ever been associated with. Doesn't weigh 150 pounds, wringing wet. Has always played here with a lot of tenacity, especially this year. He was our weapon offensively, and just very, very proud of him. I told his mom and their family that was there what kind of person Brian is, and leaves this place as one of the guys that's really been able to be successful offensively.
Only player in school history for the Pioneers, as I read over some of this, with 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving, 10th in career rushing, 15th in career receiving, 8th in career reception, 7th in career all-purpose yards. He led the conference at one time, was one of the top all-purpose leaders in the nation this year, had 258 all-purpose yards against Brevard earlier this week. He was injured opening the kickoff in the second half against Newberry and has to miss the rest of the year. First in the conference in all-purpose, 3rd in the conference in kickoff return, 1st in the conference in punt return. That 258 all-purpose yards, came against North Greenville. He had 12 catches against Pembroke, 93 receiving yards against West Georgia, scored a couple of touchdowns against Mars Hill last season. That's Brian Marshall. That is one of your leaders, and that's a guy who has had a lot of numbers, obviously, for his Pioneer career, but not able to finish out his career here at Tusculum due to injury. We hope to hear from Brian maybe this week as well. A guy who's only been here a couple of years, and that's Aaron Morgan, but has been made an impact on that defensive side.
Aaron Morgan's mother actually got to attend for the first time. Aaron's from Los Angeles, California, was happy that she was able to be here, and Aaron's one of those guys that's always got a smile on his face, has played through injuries. He came in here with an injury, he's battled some knee injuries, but always does what we ask him to do, and looking for him to walk across that stage one day as well.
Maybe the most underrated player on this team, most overlooked, that's for sure, but the only All-American at that position, long snapper Skylar West Newport.
Happy that he's able to come in here. It's very emotional when he walked out there. You know, I've sort of been a father figure to Skylar as I deal with the specialist one-on-one, and Skylar's one of the best, if not the best, long snapper we've ever had. And we'll get his face up on the All-American wall, just happy for all the things he's brought to this institution, and proud of what he brings, and hopefully he'll continue to move on. I think he's going to join the service when he's done and will be a great representative of Tusculum College.
All right, now a guy who still has eligibility here at Tusculum College but wants to start his life, although we're going to sabotage that. He just doesn't know it yet. Andy Rossetti, you know, we joke because he's been phenomenal here over the last 5 weeks, and that's the truth. I don't know. He's flipped the field so well over the last 5 games. He's averaging 48 yards a punt over the last 5.
Does phenomenal job. Happy that he's ending his career as successful as he's been. And I talked to his mom and dad way before the game even started, let them know I was 100% supportive of his decision and getting on with his life. It's our job to make sure they graduate and become good husbands and good fathers, and Andy will be one of those when he walks across that stage.
Rossetti is a guy who's very unselfish about when he has to punt. I think that's why his career punting average is only 5th in school history at 39.12, although there's been some good ones. John Gregory, we know. But Andy Rossetti will come in and punt the ball at the 35 if that needs to be done. He's second all-time in number of punts and second all-time in punting yards, and has had 49 punts inside the 20 for his career. Can add a couple of more of that. He's over 50 now on the year. That's Andy Rossetti. But traffic cone, whatever you want to call him, Big Cuz also had a chance to walk in. You know, sometimes when you get these managers that have been so much a part of this program and they get their moment, it was good to see that.
Well, Zach, Big Cuz McCauley, just a phenomenal person, and has grown so much since he joined our program a few years back, and he does everything in the world for us from an equipment room standpoint. And just a very high-quality individual, going to be successful. I'm actually trying to talk him into staying around here and getting his master's degree at Tusculum and still being a part of our program. He's essential for us, and a lot of those guys go unnoticed. Preston Halstead's another manager that decided not to walk, that's a senior. But we couldn't get it done like we do in the equipment room and in the locker room if it wasn't for high-quality guys, and I'm just very, very proud of those young men.
All right, bittersweet day for the Pioneers for sure. Pioneers fall to Carson Newman. Had to watch the seniors take that walk, and a lot of those guys, you heard some of the numbers, will definitely be missed in the future for this Pioneer football program. We'll talk about some of the guys who stepped up to make plays big time on Saturday as the Pioneers lose to Carson Newman. We'll come back with that right after this. The Frankie DeBusk Show continues, presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda.
Gateway Ford on Highway 11E is rapidly becoming the #1 Ford dealer in the region. We're changing the car business for the better. Buying a car has never been easier. No add-on stickers. Plus, we'll appraise your car right up front. You pick the car you like and have your best price in less than 30 minutes. Plus, at Gateway, you'll receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on every new vehicle purchased. The clear choice. Gateway Ford, home of the big deal on Highway 11E in Greenville.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton.
Welcome back into the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda. Pioneers fall to Carson Newman by a final score of 66-36. Coach DeBusk has 3 wins against the Carson Newman Eagles. 2 one-point victories, 1 devastating one-point loss after a field goal attempt from 53 yards stoinked off the upright Gareth Rowlands, and the other happened to be the 27-18 Larry Hollins punt return, or I should say fumble return for a touchdown. So they've been close games. Ken Sparks has usually had to breathe the sigh of relief, and primarily most of his wins, they have been all over double digits, with the exception of last year. It was 35-27, Carson Newman at Jefferson City, the closest ever game. Bo Cordell has never beaten Carson Newman. He's thrown for 524 and 399. Now he throws for 323 and still has never beaten Carson Newman. But after the game, he had over 400 yards total offense. We had a chance to sit down with Bo Cordell.
Welcome back into our player interview served by Applebee's. We're joined by Pioneer quarterback Bo Cordell. Big day, goes over 300 yards passing, over 100 yards rushing, and that's something that hadn't been done here in a while. Let's talk about your first drive. Empty backfield, 5 wideouts. You guys made a commitment. We're going to throw the ball. We're going to get back to that. And Mark Kolb said, look, Bo can have these type numbers. I'm going to prove it, and you guys proved it today.
Yeah, we were finally able to click offensively. The young receivers, Justin Houston, Kenny Funny, guys like that, they really grew up today, I feel like, and we were finally clicking as an offense. And, when the offensive line gives me time like they did today, we're going to be able to throw it. And, I was actually able to run the ball a little bit today, which is, not a normal thing.
I joke, and I compared you to Johnny Unitas a little bit. You got that kind of shoulder hunch, and you kind of run forward. But, you split the defense a couple of times. But 103 yards rushing, how comfortable are you doing that?
Today was the most comfortable I've gotten. I think I gained a lot of confidence in that today, so hopefully we can take that in the next week and continue to click well as an offense. And, defense, we've gotten better every week. Hopefully we can come out and stop Wingate and get a W next week.
Exactly. We'll talk about them coming up here in a second. But I think you saw in this game, you realized just how important you had to execute on a very high level today. Couldn't force a punt. And not that the Eagles, I think, forced you to do that, but I think in some ways you guys somewhat stopped yourself a little bit today.
We have a lot of confidence as an offense. So whenever we are able to get in the shootout, we feel like we can win the game. And if we wouldn't have the interception I threw there, a couple of we had a fumble here and a couple of 3-and-outs, and we would have been in the game in the end. And I feel like if we would have had the ball in the end with our confidence, we would have won the game.
Let's look ahead to Wingate a little bit, because you showcase your running skills. You showcase your arm, which everybody knew that. The game may last 7 hours next week in a field that has no lights, that kicks off at 1:30, and a shortened day because we roll our clocks back tonight. So, all right, it's Wingate. They've lost 2 straight. They may be down just a little bit. So what will the atmosphere be like going in there?
It's going to be nice. We do not like Carson Newman, and we don't like Wingate either. So hopefully we come out firing on all cylinders next week. Defensively make some stops. I know they're going to throw the ball, and I'm pretty sure we're going to throw the ball as well. So we look forward to playing Wingate next week. Hopefully come out with the W.
Bo Cordell, dual role, running back over 100 yards, quarterback over 300 yards. That's your player interview served by Applebee's.
Time now to meet our players of the week. Well, you've just met one of them, our Sodexo Offensive Player of the Week. Bo Cordell, the junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio, Indian Hill High School, went 29 of 43 for 323, including 4 touchdowns, did throw a pick, had 14 carries for 103 yards. That is a career best for Bo. What you may not know about Bo is that it also puts his career rushing numbers now into positive. He was minus 28 for his career going into the contest. So good to see Bo Cordell move into the all-time realm of positive rushing yards. Actually, this year he had rushed for 62 yards. Had only been sacked 19 times on the season. Bo Cordell, the former Harlan Hill Trophy finalist this year, now his career has thrown for over 3,000 yards in each of his 3 seasons here at Tusculum. This year he's 298 of 472 with 11 interceptions, but 21 touchdowns, averaging 308 yards passing per game. Now Bo Cordell is the 3rd leading rusher on the team. He's run for 173 yards now on the season officially. They find that somewhat amazing. Actually, I do find that somewhat amazing. Cordell is continuing his assault in the NCAA Division II record book. He's passed for 12,190 yards, currently 7th in Division II history. He has 1,076 career completions, the 3rd most ever by a Division II quarterback, and he needs just 43 more completions to pass Stephen Gischetti of Southwest Baptist, who played from 2007 to 2010. Our defensive players of the week, one a senior and one maybe will make one of the most impactful moments on the defensive line in years to come. Big Country and Luke Harris. We'll start with our senior. For our Greenville Light and Power Defensive Player of the Week, Luke Harris, senior out of Floyd, Virginia from Floyd County High School. 17 tackles on the day, that's a career best, and he also had a fumble recovery. For the year now, he's first on the team with 96 tackles, a tackle for loss, 4 pass breakups, an interception, and a fumble recovery. 225 tackles for his career, ranks him 8th all-time, and 3 interceptions for the career of Luke Harris. Kashad Lyons, we know him as Big Country, the sophomore out of Ellenwood, Georgia from Woodland High School, finished the game with 5 tackles. He can be an impact player on that defensive line. For the season now, 34 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, a sack, and an interception. For his career, 46 tackles, 3 for loss, a sack, a fumble recovery, and an interception. A guy who this Pioneer football team is definitely going to miss after this year. He still has a year of eligibility to come back. Our special teams player of the week. Our Green Coach Tour Special Teams Player of the Week is Andy Rossetti, a junior out of Kenneth City, Florida, from St. Petersburg High School. 3 punts. If he didn't have a tough effort there in the fourth quarter, he'd have about a 45 to 46-yard average. 3 punts on the day, averaging 42 yards a kick with a long of 49 and 1 inside the 20. He was 2 for 2 passing for 35 yards on the day. For the season now, 48 punts, 42.5-yard average, a long of 64 and 21 inside the 20. He's 3 of 4 passing on the year for 54 yards, 3,164 yards for Bo Cordell's career, and Andy Rossetti can say that he has at least been a part of that offensive attack for the Tusculum Pioneers. Well, it's time for our Andrew Johnson Bank Call of the Game. We've been asking for it, we've been waiting for it, and Josh Mackey finally comes through, makes the biggest play, and has the biggest catch of his young Pioneer career.
Pioneer's going to go deep for Mackey. Goes up. Does he make a brilliant catch? A 1-foot down pitch, yes. Josh Mackey, the former North Carolina recruit, transferred to Tusculum with his biggest catch of his Pioneer career to the 25.
Time now for our Creekside Market post-game wrap-up. In the contest, the Pioneers fall to Carson Newman, and Carson Newman comes away with a mind-blowing 35 first downs. Just continue to chew the clock and make big plays. Tusculum had 24 first downs. 563 yards rushing for Carson Newman. That's typical. They're second in the nation in rushing offense. 127 yards for the Pioneers. Tusculum threw for 358 as a team, 86 for Carson Newman. Total offense, Carson Newman had 86 plays for 649 yards. Tusculum 70 plays for 485 yards. The Eagles 7.5 yards per play. The Pioneers 6.9. Carson Newman fumbled it 3 times, but the Pioneers gave it up 2 times and also had an interception. Tusculum remains 0 even on the year in turnovers. Time of possession, Carson Newman 33-12, Tusculum 26-48. Third downs, Carson Newman was just 5 of 12, but 5 of 6 on fourth down conversions on the day, and were 7 of 8 in the red zone. The Pioneers 3 of 12 on third downs, 1 of 2 on fourth, and 5 of 6 inside the red zone. Pioneers fall to Carson Newman 66-36. One game remains. We'll come back. We'll chat about that when we return right after this. Pioneer head coach Frankie DeBusk joins us for the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda.
Dean, what's wrong? We all want to go to the game, but I just don't think we have a car big enough for all of us.
Don't worry, Dean. My dad's inside Gateway right now buying us a new SUV that can fit all of us.
What do you think, guys?
Yeah, let's go!
Hey, Ty, you ready to go to the game?
Yeah, I'm ready to go, Dad, but we have some new people wanting to go to the game.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, I think it's our world.
I'm Pioneer Coach Frankie DeBusk, asking you, like I do my son Ty, to support the Tusculum College athletics all year long. And for your next car buying experience, please visit Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda.
Go Pioneers!
The best deal in the neighborhood just got better with more to love on the 2 for $20 meal only at Applebee's. Applebee's is a proud sponsor of the Frankie DeBusk TV show and side of the Frankie DeBusk radio show. Applebee's on the bypass in Greenville. There's no place like the neighborhood. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day.
Welcome back into the Frankie DeBusk Show, presented by Gateway Ford, Lincoln Mazda. Pioneers with 10 down and now 1 to go. Welcome back in, Pioneer Coach Frankie DeBusk. A coach who I respect for sure is John Rick here, or Joe Reich, I should say. John Rick, the quarterback at Mars Hill. But Joe Reich at Wingate is a guy who, a lot like Kataba's coach, a lot like Todd Knight at Newberry, you respect these guys for what they do, but Reich seems to be just different. He seems to be that genuine, that sincere. So to see what his team is going through here right now at the end of the year is tough for me to accept. Maybe for the Pioneer football team going in there into a beehive. How do you go into this game with the Wingate team that has got all the talent and all the skill and all the ability and the record, and then lose to North Greenville the way they have done and to fall to LR the way that they have done? How do you prepare for a team that you're really not sure what you're going to get?
Well, I think they're very similar to what we're going through. They got a lot of around in a lot of positions. They have made some plays. They've won some big ball games. They're turning it over way too much, but they're a scary football team. They're still playing for a chance to share the conference championship, so I'm sure they got a little bit motor running right now ready for the Pioneers. But we're going to go over there, and as much as I like and respect Joe, I hope he loses the last game of the year. And he's a great person. He's a good quality individual, and he's done a lot for the Wingate program. And they're very similar to we are. They could win it or they could lose it. They got great kids. I respect what they're trying to get accomplished over there, and it's unfortunate neither one of us are really playing for a whole lot, although they're hoping that there's a lot of things will happen in the league and they can have a chance to share. But it'll be a great way to end the season to get a W. I think it's important going into the offseason if you can get a win, and that's what we're going to go try to do.
I know you've been impressed with your team, their ability to get up and play with the adversity that you've dealt with. Do you see that still as you head into the last game of the year?
Well, we continue to fight, playing against Carson Newman. It's a ball game at halftime. We've scored. We've done some good things, and we've gotten excited. We're not playing silly. We're not making silly decisions. And I think we'll go play again. I guess time will tell. But
right.
We go up and show up like we're supposed to and expected to.
All right, I joke about this, but I'm halfway serious. Now we've gone out of daylight savings. This is the first time ever, maybe, that we have played Wingate last. I know it is. Usually start with them. Do you worry about not getting the game in? Because they don't have lights at their place.
Maybe it'll be an overtime war. We'll have to call it a tie. Who knows?
That would be, I guess that would be fine. Best of luck to you. Thanks for your time. That's Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk. Pioneers versus Wingate this Saturday. Join us on the Pioneer Sports Network. You can tune in on the Pioneer Sports Network, AM 1450 WSMG. You can also listen online through TusculanPioneers.com. Follow some live stats. Wingate University and their sports information department will have a live feed as well for live video if you prefer to do that. But turn us on. Trust me. Just trust me. The Pioneers and Wingate. We'll kick it off at 1:30, minus daylight savings time in a stadium without lights. Could be a little interesting. Our coverage begins at 12:30 on the Pioneer Sports Network. Many thanks to all those who are involved with the Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk show. We've got Dom Donnelly sending us pictures. We got Jim Milliner throwing us stats. We appreciate all of their efforts as always. For Quentin Talley, for Nathan Humbert, for Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk, I'm Brian Stayton. Go Pioneers.
This has been the Frankie DeBusk Show with head coach Frankie DeBusk, featuring coaches' interviews, player spotlights, highlights, and statistical breakdowns.
Presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda, the home of the big deal. Located on the 11E bypass in Greenville. And brought to you in part by Applebee's, your neighborhood bar and grill. There's no place like the neighborhood. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Andrew Johnson Bank, a strong heritage, a stronger future. Home-owned and operated with locations in Greenville, Morristown, Jonesboro, Johnson City, and Cleveland. Grand Rental Station, anything you'll ever need to rent or buy. Consumer Credit Union, with 3 convenient locations in Greenville and Moss High. Creekside Markets, don't pass by, stop by, with 3 locations in Greene County. Laughlin Memorial Hospital, whatever you do, do it well. By Green Coach Tours, celebrating their 66th anniversary. Special consideration from Comcast Cable.
The Gateway Ford Frankie DeBusk Show is a special presentation of the Pioneer Sports Network.